I miss that so much.
But the cheering, right?
I missed our classic theme song, and I'm so glad we got to play it today.
Guys, if you have any controls if you have like a MIDI software and you would like to turn that into an actual theme song, I wouldn't mind it.
We wouldn't hate you for it.
Guys, welcome back to SourceFedNERD. You guys have been asking for Superhero Roundup to come back for a long time.
Yes.
And in a way, it is. But we've been talking over the past couple months, and we wanted to kind of switch it up a little bit. We wanted to make it a little bit more special and at the same time make it more fun for us and get you guys more involved. So we're trying this out. It's very similar to Superhero Roundup. We're going to be talking about all the big shows. We got Supergirl.
Hi,
I'm going to point to you. Yeah, you're Supergirl. Here's Mr. Flash.
I'm the Flash.
We have
I get to be Arrow. I win.
And I'm 9 people. I know we used to talk about S.H.I.E.L.D. and we could possibly bring them on the show as well. But for today, we're focusing on the CW shows. But basically, the point of the show is to debate which show won the week.
Yes, so there can be only one.
Just one.
Highlander reference.
A little Highlander. But so each of us is going to be focusing on one show, and there's going to be 4 categories. So Philip today will be focusing on Supergirl, and you're going to fight for Supergirl being the best show.
Of the week.
Of the week.
That won the week, because she did.
And so we're going to be having 4 categories. You're going to be talking about story. You're going to be arguing has the best story, has the best action, best Easter eggs, and then finally, best epic moment.
But we're doing that in rounds.
In rounds, yes, that's very true.
Oh, wait. So you're doing the one and we're all saying the 1 point.
Yeah, we're doing the story all around.
And then we'll check in on the poll and see
We did talk about this before the camera rolled. I'm just a little slow.
So, gang, in the description, the first link in the description is a poll where you can vote throughout the show to determine which show won the week. And in the end, only you get to decide which show won. We're arguing for them. You take our arguments and you decide who won the week.
Why don't we check it right now?
I will check it. But hey, while you guys vote, we're going to be actually updating this live little board that Aaron in our office built. It's very cool. So I'll check right now so we can update it.
Let's
also,
update this board.
These are really high-res logos.
Right?
No, I'm really a big fan
This is
of them.
fun.
All right, in the comments right now, I'm going to post the link again. So you guys can go vote, but let's go ahead and look at those results that we've got so far. Okay, number 1, Arrow.
Oh, shoot.
Number 2, Supergirl.
No, number 2 is Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, shoot.
What?
Look at
Did they watch the same episode?
that. Hey, we'll get there.
We'll get
I'm
there.
talking about Legends of Tomorrow.
All
I
right.
got things to say.
Okay, you flash heads.
Wait, hold on.
This is
This is
crazy.
baffling to me
This is like the Mirror universe right here.
Flash last week not so great. This week
week incredible.
Pretty on point.
All right,
The
guys,
best episode of the week.
The whole purpose of this show is to get them to adjust those.
Yeah,
So
Matt, you
we'll
got
do it.
Flash, so you got to convince those people out there that it should be.
Guys,
the
come
winner.
on. You know that it was the best episode this week, and I'm going to back it up with proof.
But first up,
Where's your proof?
we're going to go ahead with Philip.
Right in here.
With Supergirl, hit us with the story and why it's the best.
We're just going to talk about the story, but honestly, I could go beat by beat, but this is an atypical episode, I'm just going to say, where the story is really just about the House of L coming back together on the CW, and it's like, oh God, how I don't even know how we can even like talk about like, oh, there's little plot details where Lena Luthor, but it's like, freaking, do we curse on the show?
Yeah, go ahead.
Fucking Superman is on this show.
Bam, there he is,
you
that
go.
beautiful
That's
boy.
just such a handsome. By the way, Everybody Wants Some. Tyler Hoechlin is also in that. Highly recommend.
Holy crap, he's unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, completely different.
From that version.
Also, Melissa Benoist's hubby is in that movie as well.
Oh.
He played Cat Grant's son.
Yeah, exactly. He
Anyway.
also did Improv in Miami with me.
Hey!
But unrelated to all of that.
He has a lot of
name
chin.
drop.
So real quick, name drop. We had some stuff with John Corbin. We had the new version of the DEO, and that's all great. But really, just this Superman Supergirl team up. So I want to talk about really quick. Tyler Hoechlin is really, really good as Superman. Like fantastic portrayal. He's earnest. He's a klutz. And then as Superman, he's charming. He's intimidating. He's funny. I really like Henry Cavill as Superman. But when you get now again a new version like this version that Tyler did, you notice there was a bit of humanity missing, and the importance is not because like, oh, I need him to smile more. It's hard to relate to a character that doesn't have very human aspects and doesn't crack a smile and crack a joke and feel like a normal dude in some ways.
Yeah.
And Henry Cavill, in general, just on Earth, is already like, are you a human? Because you're like 6'10", you know, whatever, just jacked as hell. But he has that struggle of going through those movies and trying to be relatable, and so that's why when you hear a moment like Martha, you're kind of like, meh. I don't know about you as real people anyway. So it's already a little further.
That's an interesting point. Maybe the Martha thing would have worked better if you had Tyler Hoechlin's like, I like
That
to stay and say
version,
hi to
Right,
people
like
and
someone
stuff.
who is more approachable, more
Yeah.
real.
Right, and
Yeah.
that
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's still.
I like the Martha thing from the movie personally.
I want to
I'm
give a
the
shout out to
one.
DJ giving the hardest thumbs to himself, by the way. Yeah. But also, he doesn't overwhelm the narrative and make it about him.
No.
They actually did this really masterful thing where they brought in Superman not as a prop or as a, like, oh, we're doing it for ratings or something. They brought him in as a checkpoint for Kara to be like, all right, that's supposed to be your final goal. That's where you're trying to get to. And then by using him to show, holy crap, she's holding her own beside him, and she's even excelling in some ways. She had that moment later where she's like, hey, I'm actually pretty freaking good at being Supergirl. I'm not so good at my love life, but that's totally fine.
But it's like, shouldn't she know that by now?
No way!
Considering that she
She's done one
saved him
season.
last year?
Yeah.
When he was
Kind
mind
of, but
controlled?
Sure, but it's one season into this girl's
Sure,
arc.
sure.
She's really discovering herself.
I will say I think Melissa Benoist is probably the best actress in all of the CW shows. Like, she is a real. They had a real treasure.
It's
with
the
her.
same
She's
exact thing
fantastic.
that I'm
Yeah.
saying with Tyler Hoechlin, where these people are real charming, likable nerds, kind of,
Yeah.
that are playing these roles. And then
Final thoughts.
okay,
'cause we
so
want to
and
get
then
through all of them.
Yeah.
final thoughts. I'll say. Okay, so this is an episode where they also killed off the James, Kara love story, and I think that's a brilliant move to just, instead of carry it out for a freaking season.
Did they kill it or did they press pause?
No, they killed that thing because it
pretty
wasn't
dead.
working.
Okay.
And I think that is like a really brave place to take the story. We're like, you know what? Band-Aid's off. We're just gonna start again there. And I feel like we've had so many season-long awkwardness, and are we gonna break up? And I hate that.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite part of Arrow, and I feel like it was a masterful choice here. But again, at the end of the day, you had Superman, you have the Luthors in this universe. That's the biggest story of the week. It's easily why they won the week.
Ooh, all right. Now up with Flash. Matt, take it away.
Okay, listen. Flash had easily the best story out of any of the shows this week,
I like this show.
it's infinitely provable.
TV
You
Fights
can't
champ
you,
over
you
here.
can't
Back to the
argue
table.
that it didn't have the best story this week, because the one thing that superhero shows lack or have an issue with in general is consequences. Is we've got superpowered people running around, they're saving the world over and over and over and over and over again, and we're talking about Barry Allen, who made a very selfish choice to go back in time. Multiple selfish choices. You can't stop it. But in doing so, and going back in time and saving his mother and creating the Flashpoint universe, and then thinking that he's completely saved everything and he's taken back his mistake, he actually screwed over every single person in his life.
This is actually arguably worse. The timeline they're in now is worse
Than the Flashpoint.
No, it
Yeah.
absolutely is.
He could've
It's the worst choice.
It's the worst timeline.
Good thing you're not arguing for last week.
No,
because it was a little bit like,
Yeah.
why is he gonna leave
But
us?
here's the thing, I think what they did with Flashpoint was really smart, because they knew that they couldn't make wide-reaching changes across all of the DC TV universe that were lasting. You could make some small ones, but you couldn't make
Diggle's
lasting
Diggle.
ones. So instead
Diggle.
of like
Diggle.
dragging
Diggle.
out, yeah, exactly. Diggle has a son now, which in its own way, and I'll come back to this later, that's like a brilliant piece of retconning, because they already introduced his son
Yeah,
in
but
Legends of Tomorrow.
How does that work?
I'll tell.
We'll have
Time
all
is
around.
fluid. We'll get to time when we talk about Legends of Tomorrow. Timequake. Yeah. So he's dealing with all of the ramifications of what he did. He's trying to bring Team Arrow back together, and he's coming to grip with his own limitations. The fact is, you can't just fix the universe and fix other people's lives just by, trying to bring them together and be all happy. Life is more complicated than that. These are people, not pawns. And if you really care about them, you're gonna come to grips with what you did and be honest. And Barry had to really make that difficult decision this week. I love a story that isn't just about superpowers or something cool, which we get both of those this week.
Yes, we do.
But it's also about emotions. And I honestly think that Grant Gustin did an incredible job this week. All the actors did.
John Wesley Ship.
Yeah.
Bringing everything
John
you just
Wesley
read,
Shipp,
just
like,
putting it right
100%. And I love his portrayal of Jay Garrick. His Jay Garrick is, commanding and like measured and stately, no nonsense.
No nonsense
like
at all.
it's great because you also
he's
see
a
him
dad.
stretch as an actor because it feels like a very distinctly different character than Henry Allen, which I really appreciate. But we see all the changes this week. We see that Barry has a new sidekick or partner in the CSI team, Draco Malfoy, Julian Albert, who hates him and is actively trying to figure out what's wrong with this guy.
You need a character like that.
Yeah.
Because you need someone that like can see through the pretty.
Well,
like,
that's the thing is
Well, it's annoying when they're not smart too, and this seems like a smart guy.
He's a smart guy. He's maybe even smarter than Barry. I would argue that he's smarter than Barry.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
well, I would argue most people are smarter than Barry.
That's
It's
right.
really
Yeah,
boneheaded
He makes
thing.
a lot of mistakes, but I think that they did a lot of very smart.
Science.
all of the changes, all of the
Over it.
retcons that they did for all the characters, I would say actively move their stories in more interesting directions than they have in the past. Revealing that Caitlin now in this universe has metahuman powers and could become Killer Frost.
Yes.
Killing off Cisco's brother and having him come to grips with something real and heavy and how it changes him and makes him less light and it makes him a more complex character, bringing him into the field and giving him, the beginnings of a tactical suit that can help him be a partner to Barry in
Hoping
combat.
for the hopeful costume.
I know,
It's
it's
okay.
coming.
It's okay. It's okay that it wasn't.
did,
It's
yeah.
okay that it wasn't.
He got
I
there
just
in 5
kinda
seconds.
Yeah.
I think that he didn't have time.
Hey, it was right around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. And most
Right
importantly,
around the corner.
most importantly, the rival is just sort of like a skip over villain. It's just a villain of the week versus having a speedster be the big bad again.
I like Dr. Alchemy a lot.
Dr. Alchemy is great. The costume, less
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
But we know that
Concept cool.
we know that he's the big bad because he committed the evil crime of bringing back the rival's costume. That's how evil he is.
Son of a
I would have
Yeah.
loved if they changed this. Like, you know what? Last time I see the mistakes I made.
Hey, he's like Matt said. He's a skip over villain.
But here's the thing. We know that there are that's a shot of the Philosopher's Stone, which is his
I didn't
his
even
weapon.
notice the stone when I was
Oh,
watching.
yeah,
It's his
man.
weapon. It's also potentially the source
so
of his
excited
power.
about
It
stuff.
might be what he's using to transform these people who had powers and abilities in the Flashpoint universe into that version of themselves. We know that there are 4 other Flashpoint metas running around out there.
One of them, I think, is Caitlin.
One of them could be Caitlin.
I think she's one of the hostages.
Well, that's like a huge jump because then like she would know everything that's going on and she's lying
Unless
to them.
it happened to her while she was.
It could
Unless
be.
he did it without her knowing.
Here's
Or-
the thing: Julian Albert would have. He knew that Edward Claris was Edward Claris from.
Ah, good point.
Yeah,
Touche.
that's impossible.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. This moved Flash's storyline as a season and as a show forward in very meaningful ways. We got action and we got emotion. It was a very, very well done episode that shows that they're aiming for a more complex season than they had last year.
I'm very excited for Flash. I think they're on the right path to getting better from a lot of the problems from last season and the premiere of this. But I think one of the top shows of this year is Arrow. Go ahead and take it away.
Yeah,
TJ.
I really liked where Arrow is starting out its season. I think it's starting in a much more grounded place. It's something that reminds us a lot more of Arrow's season 1 and season 2. He's trying to make a new team in a lot shorter time period than he made the old team.
Right, that was 4 years.
Yeah, and so everybody's kind of starting in a better place, starting from scratch. Because the only one that stuck around is Felicity, and she is now able to be supportive and insightful, which is where we like her best, as opposed to like in the way. You know what I mean? Which I never disliked Felicity
what?
as much as
Iron
some
Man
people.
can- yeah.
Iron Man's out of here. This is DC shows, damn it. And the other thing that I think is a huge improvement is the flashbacks so far do not suck and actually serve a purpose thematically. Instead of it connecting to like, oh, this is the totem that he uses to have magic, which is stupid, nobody cares. It's dealing with the idea of how Oliver learned to train people. Very bad training.
Horrible at
Just
it.
the worst. And how he's trying to learn how to be better than the Bratva that trained him. Also, we've been promised the Bratva since like episode 2.
Yeah.
And we're finally getting there. And so it's interesting to see also not only him training these people, but how they reflect him and the people he's interacted with before. Because Wild Dog is definitely being set up to be kind of like he was when he was being trained in the Bratva. And you've got Ragman, who has his own dad/vengeance issues. Also, with the introduction of Ragman, we're fixing one of the biggest gloss overs from last season, which was the nuke. And what was the name of the place?
The nuke was in
Haven Rock.
And now we'll have to have Felicity deal with the fact that that's the place she chose chose to send it because it's better than the super populous city that she sent it to. Ragman's definitely going to be up her butt about that. Also, Ragman, we got to watch a show where Green Arrow trains Mr. Terrific, Wild Dog, and Artemis to fight Ragman. That's the show that we watched.
By the way, thank God we're away from leather, right? That's obviously more discernible. You can figure out what that is. Because also it's like you got
Meat
this.
rags.
You got this.
At first I thought it was Prometheus that was attacking the guy. I love that setup. The guy was like, oh, hey, homeless guy, here's some money, and ends up being Ragman. But somebody pointed out in the comments, maybe they're connected somehow, which would be interesting. I looked up Ragman villains to see if I could get a hint. I didn't find anything.
Not too many.
So you talked about dealing with character. We're dealing with Oliver's character and where he's at, and we're giving him a distinguishable arc this season that's more grounded. Also, we got Diggle dealing with going back to his military life. People retooling where they exist in this world. Thea helping out with his mayoral campaign, but still being a secret little badass, jumping around on roofs.
Feels
and
like
stuff
a big kind of reset button happened on Arrow.
Yeah.
Where they're like, you know what? Where do people actually work? Where do we want to see them?
And it's also good because all these shows have the same problem is they just keep adding and adding and adding cast members to like shore a bunch of them off and take it down to the bare bones, where Thea's not running around as Speedy. You know, she's on the periphery. Felicity's there as the kind of like co-leader of Team Arrow. It's where people work better. And I personally thought Season 4 was an improvement over Season 3. For me, Season 3 is the
the Navy of the last point.
not that Season 4 didn't have its moments, but of not being great. But it really feels like old school Arrow, and we'll get into this later, but it also helps that the action is some of the best I've seen on TV.
Final thoughts? Good.
Final thoughts is it's really cool to see Arrow. It's cool to see with all these shows, except maybe Legends. Really trying to drill down on what works from it. I didn't think the Flash premiere last week was really good. This episode feels like a premiere. This feels like the premiere of the season, and so it feels like all the shows are kind of like, okay, what works, and focusing on those things. Yeah.
Very cool. All right, I'm taking Legends
Art did
tomorrow.
it best of those.
I'm going to go ahead and fight for Legends tomorrow, and I'm hearing some shade over on this side of the table.
You know, man.
You mean the rest of the table?
Hold on, let's go ahead and
All
talk
of the
about
table
for
but
just
your
a second.
part?
Well, we have a show where we have a
geez.
man who can combine with another man and make a giant talking fireball. We have time travel.
human-sized
We have
fireball.
assassins who've come back to life.
Yes.
We have a woman with a magical staff that flies around. We have a woman who could summon animal power.
You're talking about the end, the very last scene
I'm
of the episode.
adding everybody in here.
Yeah.
We have Albert Einsteins. We have two of them. And we got nukes. We got Nazis. We've got speedsters. We've got immortal people.
It really was everything in
I'm
that.
kind of hoping the rest of your time is just still
listing
listing
off everything that we
probably
have.
could.
We've got the ocean.
By the way,
we've got a historian.
Was anybody weirded out about that last, like, now people when they say, like, you're smart as Einsteins? I was like, wow. What's
You're
happening?
smart. No, I think that's one of the best parts of the episode, but I'll get to that
I would
near the
say,
end.
yeah.
Because they were able to take parts of history that people actually don't know. Is that the biggest rumor behind Einstein is that he's not a total genius. He had
that a
help.
real rumor?
Yes, that
Yeah,
is.
okay.
That's
It's a
an
real
actual
thing.
thing that they.
Eureka did a great episode about that.
I
in
meant
its
to look
first
it up,
season.
but I didn't.
Oops.
You don't want Sam to know anything. You keep hiding everything from Sam.
No, it's a secret. But anyways, the story, we're now figuring out where the Legends were after they met Rex Tyler last season, so they know that the JSA is a thing, but now they're the Time Masters. They're in there. They're going around and helping history. Sure, with time travel, you can literally do that whenever you want since it's time travel, but shut up, all right? We're moving
I feel like that's how the writers from Legend of Tomorrow works. Yeah, of course they could do this, but shut up. So
And the point of the show is not to be really taken seriously. Let's all be real at the table. It's about having the most.
campiest one.
Yeah, it's meant to have as much fun as possible. So I think because of that, I think this episode and the show is meant to bring the most light to your week, the most fun, because we were able to go to Salem.
I don't know,
we went
Flash
to New
and
York.
Supergirl were able to bring plenty of fun and also have stakes.
You didn't go. You didn't go
Let
to
him speak.
1942.
Let him actually have a minute before you pepper.
Yeah, this is a positive show. Yeah, we went to Salem. We went and fought a
Hero
freaking
positive.
dinosaur. I don't remember
The
the
dinosaur was cool.
Was the dinosaur an arrow? I don't think so. No, it wasn't. Were there,
Stephen
Was he
Getting kinda
fighting
old,
Dinosaur
yeah.
Man?
was there a Nazi nuke in there? I don't remember that. Oh, that's so weird. I don't remember that in there. I don't remember there being a speedster, evil speedster. No.
Man, you have all your assets lined up.
You're just chowing down on assets here.
I'm plowing through them. Excuse me.
Also,
playing the
historian guy, very handsome.
Yeah.
Very handsome.
Dubbed Pretty by Mick Rory. Nick Zana.
Yeah.
This is
I
Haywood.
love Mick. Thank God he's still around.
I'm
He's my
excited for that
favorite.
too. Also that he's a pilot. But with this, we're gonna actually have some legacy put into like the DC TV world. How freaking cool is that?
Do we have time to ask a question?
Go ask
Quick
a question.
He's
Yeah.
supposed to be Commander Steel.
He's
That
Citizen
guy.
Steel.
Citizen Steel. Who's the American flag looking motherfucker in the? Because that confused me.
This guy?
No,
The
he's-
guy in the back.
Yeah,
who
that
is
guy in the back.
You know they
Yeah.
can't. If you look at the right hand of your, oh my
Oh
goodness,
my goodness.
what is happening? We can never do this on Super Roundup, guys. The
This
future.
guy.
Yeah, who's that guy?
That's Commander Steel.
Legacy.
Yes, see,
Legacy.
there you
Got
got
it.
the legacy.
I'm on
There you
board.
go.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, we're introducing a lot of things that make DC Comics great into the show. We're seeing the spectrum of what DC has to offer, from magic to sci-fi to time travel to just dinosaurs. Remember, everyone loves their favorite DC dinosaur shows.
Yeah.
You know
Final
what? We're final thoughts. I got the shit end of this.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna keep
Argue
fighting
for it.
Argue for it. Actually, wait, I'm second place.
Yeah,
Let me go ahead and do an update.
Well,
on
before,
who's
as you're doing the
winning.
update, let's each go around real quick. One sentence on just why our story is the best.
Oh, yeah, quick sentence.
Sure, they brought in fucking Superman and they made it work on Supergirl without overpowering Supergirl.
One of the best written episodes of the show, emotional conflict, stakes, and resolution.
The best integration of the flashbacks, strong themes, best use of the characters we've gotten in seasons, and also motherfucking Ragman.
Again, Einstein's nukes, Nazis, magic, speedsters, time
All the
travel,
commas, any comma.
grandpas. I think I'm good.
If you haven't voted, you need to go and vote
Vote.
on the link in the description.
Guys, I'm being super fucking distracted by these action
I know,
figures.
they're
They're
so
right,
nice.
they're right
We
within
never
reach.
get to
Guys.
have them within
You gotta do a fresh refresh.
Guys, this is a fresh refresh.
Fresh refresh.
We have
Do one more
now-
fresh
Oh,
refresh.
super. Doing fresh the refresh.
All right,
Oh.
all right. Supergirl's first.
Oh, shit.
What?
Followed by Arrow.
I
really
call
good.
bullshit.
Then
It was
Flash,
really good.
but right behind it is as Legends of Tomorrow.
You mean right behind it? You mean in last place?
Hey, it's only 20
Right,
votes.
yeah.
It's only a 20 vote difference.
Listen, I like the new guy. I like the new guy.
Hey.
He's
we
more
can put
positive
up our
than Rip.
defenses in a second, but let's go ahead and go to our next point. Action. Who had the best action scene?
That's an easy one.
Action. Going with Supergirl. Go ahead.
Well, okay, so if you're, I get why DJ is like, oh, it's easy, and you're thinking of small scale action, but in terms of like epic level of action, Supergirl destroyed it this week. They did a callback to what's one of the best action sequences they've ever done on the show, which is the plane rescue scene in the
Yes.
opener. That sells you on the show.
Although
They
the
did
plane
an-
in the premiere was a little more believable.
A little
than the
more
plane in this
Yeah,
one.
well, this is an experimental.
That's CBS's.
Yeah. But this is also an experimental space shuttle, which, and aside, I mean, I can bring this up in the Easter eggs or whatever, but it's really tied into Superman. Anytime we meet Superman, there's often kind of a plane rescue. It's always a really rich, good way in. But that's just one thing in this episode. Then it's like, oh, they also had a helicopter rescue. Oh, they also had drones that not only did they have to chase down the drones and shoot them down, the drones were firing at civilians on the street, like the opening of Olympus Has Fallen. Have you guys seen that movie?
Yes.
That opening?
Oh, yeah.
It kills you, that opening.
That
and it's very
opening
similar to
is way better than
So-
Supergirl.
Thanks. Well, that's also a feature film where they kill a lot of people.
A lot of people
But I
die
mean,
in
this
that
is like,
movie.
those are three epic things, and then on top of that, they attack the newly introduced LexCorp building. The freaking L comes flying off and almost like kills someone. These are four like movie-worthy level action sequences, all in one episode
Someone
put together.
does bring up a good point. Carla Pants in the chat for YouTube says Supergirl getting knocked out was a little weird. It was pretty cool that they were fighting like they were taking on like the threats equally. It was a little weird though. Just throwing that in there. Why not a dinosaur? I'll get to that.
Can't wait to end Sam's point on a downer. Just right there at the end.
All right.
4 movie-level action sequences in one episode.
Bam.
That's the week.
Okay. They didn't necessarily add up to anything, though. We're talking about story-driven action sequences. Listen, we get the Flash versus the rival
Again.
but
A lot cooler this time.
A lot cooler this time.
Yeah.
Listen, we get Vibe out in the field, them tag teaming Edward Claris, bringing him down for the last time. How cool is that damn
Wombo
shot?
combo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gotta love it. Listen, we're not just getting that kind of superhero action, okay? We're also getting action of the romantic type. Finally, a kiss between Barry
an array.
between Barry and Iris that cannot be wiped away by the sands of time. We're going there, people.
Good catch.
Yeah.
Thank you for Legends of Tomorrow. I just realized.
What? Oh
God.
Oh, there we go.
Dinosaur.
Oh, dinosaur on your
Mr.
screen.
Basher.
Look, we're talking about speedster action, which, like, yeah, we've seen a lot of it on this show, but the fact that they're still able to find new and exciting ways to like show it on screen and make it still interesting is great. The fact that we're dealing with Barry fighting a new type of villain that he's never fought before is great. Seeing Barry struggle is always great.
By the way, the really cool scene is that when they're running around the city and Barry like chucks the rival,
Yeah.
and that dude's dead, right?
Fully
He's dead.
He basically kills him. No, it's super healing, speed healing.
Yeah.
He's speedster.
He's
Whatever, he's fine.
yeah.
Wally took a broom to the lung and he
Hey,
went down pretty
listen.
quick.
That costume may not look nice, but it is functional for protection.
That's true.
Just all rubber.
It's got a lot of padding.
right there.
I'm gonna stop there because I know that Flash wasn't the best
Yeah.
one on action.
Actually, I will say this: that I think that last fight where like vibes him and then Flash punches
No,
him is
that
probably the
combo.
best
That
action
was
Flash has ever done, except
awesome.
maybe the last Reverse Flash fight. However, still does not hold a candle to what Arrow has been doing this season.
Yeah.
This has been, I think this has been not only the best action I've seen on Arrow, which is actually one of the major selling points of the show. Great soap opera elements, great action. That's why you watch Arrow.
That's why you watch.
And I think it's the best action I've seen on TV all year, and that includes stuff like Daredevil.
Yeah.
Maybe not Daredevil season 1, but definitely Daredevil season 2. This is up there.
Can we narrow it down to like one of the sequences?
Well, you've got a lot of, because not only do you have the
It's a
fight,
tall claim.
you've
Well,
got
let's, like,
you've got the
get
fight,
into it.
you've got the fight in where they're doing the medical.
Where Ragman shows up.
Ragman shows up.
Right,
You've got the
right.
final fight against Church, where Ragman's trying to take out the lady that works for Amertech. And then you've also got military action with Diggle, which at first you're kind of like, oh, he's a soldier on the field, but he's just going to a warehouse. But then they start blowing the warehouse up, and like big chunks of the building start
So
falling
did you
down.
catch that one thing where they throw in a grenade into that room and the roof falls and then the grenade blows up?
It's
A
one of
load
the times
bearing.
where like, listen, you don't get anything as great as Parachute Arrow. Loved Parachute Arrow.
Parachute Arrow.
But
Big
and then not only that, you've got both training sequences in the past and the future where Green Arrow is easily, which isn't fair. It's not fair to those guys, but he is demolishing.
Oh yeah,
the team.
well, and he should
yeah.
be. He should be.
And then you can talk about
you mean this team? This
yeah,
team?
this team. You got the action informing story when he's. I loved it because these shows are not subtle. They are many wonderful things. Subtle is not one of them. But when you see in the flashback Ollie using teamwork to overcome it, you're like, oh, teamwork. And then it's a whole like another 2 acts before he says it out loud. I'm like, good for you, Arrow. Normally, like right then you would have said it. And so you see the action of him using teamwork to get towards the goal of the bell, and then having the guys murdered.
I want to give
That was
credit to
pretty nice.
M.K. Songbird. Arrow shoot. Duh.
Yeah,
Arrow
and
shoot.
so
They called it arrow shoot.
it's really
Arrow
and
shoot.
it's not only practical,
Yeah.
but it makes sense. The way the action, it's like normally you see people fighting over here, and then you see the guys waiting. Like I'm sorry, man. You see that a little bit in Legends, where you got a couple guys with the sword where you're like,
Excuse me.
I'm waiting for my turn. And it's got some shaky a little bit at the end of the 4th season. These first 2 episodes, I don't imagine they can keep it up. Again, have been some of the best action I've seen on
No,
TV.
I think it'll get better actually.
That'd be amazing. It's blowing my mind.
Because they have to do well choreographed team-based fighting, and that always is pretty impressive on Arrow.
Yeah.
And actually adding Ragman in there will make it interesting, but not as interesting as the Shrinking Man. Oh, you find that weird? How weird is that? But also, I think some of the best action we got in this is when we had the French Revolution. Or the
It was
French,
interesting.
It was very weird.
It's a good way of using their time travel.
Sure, isn't it very clear that they're at some kind of resort? Yes, it's not. It's very clear. But you got Firestorm falling into
They're at the
Firestorm.
Red
That
Fair,
was
yeah.
damn
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
How cool would it be if
I
they
like
did
this
that on a
crazy ass
skyscraper?
swan dive. Like, what the hell are you doing, man?
He didn't just jump. He like did the style.
Imagine if he got there like a second too late.
How,
Like that is
he's
just
relying on an
broken neck.
80-year-old man to just catch up like and dive, and all he has to do is touch fingies.
Touch
and then
tips.
whatever-
You just have to
and-
touch tips.
Anyways, we got that. We got a lot of good Sarah, and I know everybody at the this table loves when Sarah fights, taking on Damien Dark with some pretty good six
Not
action.
exactly
Sarah's one of the
taking
best
out
fighters
Damon
in
and
our
It was
Kind of
pretty
losing
sweet.
pretty hard.
I remember when the Atom took out that gun.
You okay?
You usually say, "Yeah, that was cool."
That was
It's
cool.
cool.
Thanks, man. Jesus. How am I gonna
Wait,
just...
try it again.
Wasn't that... Fuck.
No.
I don't want it. And I'm gonna be honest, did we get a lot of...
You don't have to keep being so
Listen,
honest.
you forgot your biggest selling point? Neil McDonough.
Neil McDonough.
Neil McDonough's
But
back.
There's no action. He's
I know, but still,
he's
Neil
getting
McDonough,
in there.
man.
Oh, also, sorry. One of the best things in Flash last season is when Zoom runs into the coffee shop and kills all the cops.
Yes.
Except for the main character.
Yeah, exactly. Submarine.
We got it in the submarine.
Fuck them, they're Nazis.
Yeah, they are Nazis, but we got Eobard and Damien Dark teaming up, and you're gonna see a battle with Captain Cold, Damien Dark, Malcolm Merlin,
In the
and
future.
Eobard Thawne fighting against the Legends. I think that's gonna be pretty
Wait,
sweet.
how is
At some
Captain
point.
Cold wrapped up in this?
Good question.
Remember, this is time travel,
Props to Neil McDonough, because in the last air fight with Church, it's like that's a stunt double. There was shots with the Damien Dark. It's like, no, that's Neil McDonough.
Yeah.
Like, at least for a
Doing
second.
those
like,
sweet spin kicks?
No,
Never
but
blinking.
there's
No, he's sure. There's not too much action in this specific
I just
episode.
want more Neil
but
McDonough in my life.
Yeah.
What we're gonna get in the future is more.
Eobard, man. Matt Letcher's
He
amazing.
did really
amazing.
good last.
Yeah.
That was
But-
the best part of the premiere.
Guys, we're about to get in the next couple episodes Avengers level fighting with both the JSA, the Legends, and the Legion of Doom.
The
So-
Legends and the JSA have to fight, right?
They have to. Okay, hold on. It's superhero shit.
Yeah.
They never talk. They
Yeah.
just go into fighting. You're gonna get Vixen. You're gonna get Obsidian doing his little like teleporting shit.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Legends is doing great. Let's
Also,
go ahead and check the poll.
Shout out Lobster Mobsters helping you out, reminding you that Sarah has gotten way more action than anyone else.
Hey.
Oh, yeah, in that sense. Yeah.
Hey, the Queen seduced her.
By the way,
Okay.
yeah, I don't think Flash got a wimpy little
Why is
kid.
that now
We
like
had
her
a queen
own?
and a dead
I love-
assassin making out.
I love that Matt calls that action.
Yeah.
It's just
It's-
like
oh,
some
it's action.
crazy action.
Yeah,
Some crazy action. It's just kiss on the porch.
Yeah, Sarah definitely got the most action.
All right,
if you
updating
will.
our poll, guys. Make sure you enter the poll in the top of the description
Oh
of
my
this video.
God.
Movie worth of action.
We got Supergirl still, Arrow,
Hey.
Flash, and Legends. Flash is
man.
catching up really
Oh,
fast.
wow.
Yeah.
Flash
Whoa.
is catching up.
If you guys vote for Legends
Whoa.
tomorrow, I swear to God, I owe all of you a favor.
No.
All right?
Don't listen to him.
never
He
going to
used that favor on the live stream,
All right.
the Million Nerds
So does that
stream.
rearrange it all, or is
No,
that the same?
we're
No,
still
it's the same.
But Flash is getting real close.
Flash is like within
getting
12
close.
votes of Arrow.
And Legends is like a couple hundred behind. We're just waiting for it to catch up. Guys, go vote. Thank you so much. All right, moving on to category
For
3.
the best one of the
Easter.
week.
We're looking at Easter eggs, and each of these shows loves to sprinkle in Easter
Love
eggs.
some Easter eggs.
Supergirl had a lot.
So I'll say Supergirl, because of the introduction of Superman, had an insane number of Easter eggs. You can check out our video that Sam and I did. We went over all of that. Okay, it's just a normal video though, guys. I don't like kiss or anything this time. But it has
You're
so
gonna
many
have
that
a
I
million nerds
think
for that.
we should only focus on. Just a few, and my favorite were the connections to the Donner movies. Of all of these kinds of properties, the Richard Donner interpretation of Superman, especially in that first movie, is probably considered the most successful, I would say.
It's one of my favorite
it's
movies
just
of all time.
Universally
So good.
loved. It's such a true representation of like how cheesy and powerful Superman is, and how much you like him. And so to link it into that world was amazing. They did it with the Miss Tessmacher. Lex Luthor had his earthquake in California.
Yeah.
I need Lex Luthor in that fucking show.
That version of Lex Luthor.
By the way, found this out. The reason why their lasers are blue, it's because that's also a nod to the Donner movies.
Yes.
I did
Oh,
not
there
know
you go.
that. That's
There
why,
you go.
because they did it
Interesting.
blue in the movies as well.
They also had,
Interesting.
when we first see Clark, you hear, I would say, an inspired or an interpretation of the John Williams Superman score. And we even, when you first see Clark, you also have, he's on the phone with Perry White. It's all acknowledgments of like, yes, not only does that universe exist, but we want to attach ourselves to it. And in terms of Easter eggs and being the best of the week's Easter eggs, these were the most impactful, where they just gave literally, at least in their time, about a dozen years of backstory just by implanting these things. Now, Superman and Lex Luthor have been going at it for a decade, right? Like that's just so much to do so quickly, and to do it with such a beloved property, I was like, damn, you guys nailed it with these.
Nice.
You know,
Those
they're
are good.
good
Dude, and
Easter eggs.
also Gotham City!
Gotham's
Yeah,
there.
Yeah,
Gotham
Gotham
City.
had been kind of said once before in a different way. They had the nut, I think, is they're referring to a potential Batman.
Oh.
But no one noticed it as much as this time.
Oh, this
I
is
think
on
you're
the
referring
nose.
to when the Master Jailer, when they're like, Mass, I thought they did that in the other town. Wink.
Star City.
So those are good. Those are good Easter eggs. Let's hit up with the Flash.
Okay, Flash Easter eggs. First of all, just like it's not like a DC Easter egg, but still fun. Okay, we've got Tom Felton in as Julian Albert, and the weapon of Dr. Alchemy is the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I know it's Sorcerer's Stone over here.
Fun little nod that we found that we thought this is totally not intentional, but when they're investigating those husks, what else sheds?
A human snake.
Snakes.
Ooh,
Slytherin, right
Slytherin, baby.
Little Slytherin.
Yeah. I think like one of the biggest Easter eggs, of course, is just the change from Diggle's daughter now being a guy, being John Jr., so that it ties in with Legends of Tomorrow, which, obviously, time travel's a little weird, but basically, the way that I'm rationalizing it is that any future that the Legends could visit is already one that's been affected by Flashpoint. Flashpoint hadn't affected the present yet, but because the future technically did not exist or was always a potential future, it's based on those changes. Because I think their time travel and speedster-based time travel behave in different ways.
Wouldn't it also be interesting if John Diggle was always going to be his second child, and now maybe the Connor Hawke that we get in Legends will be a little bit older?
Oh,
that's interesting, because now he's the first child, and then Sarah will be the second.
A point just for the fact that this kind of conversation is the kind of conversation that I like time travel to inspire, where it's like, oh, what does that mean, or whatever. Yeah. So that being from one little Diglett causing this whole conversation, I like that.
I also like that the time travel was more localized as opposed to Flashpoint. There's no time quake caused by Flash going back in time.
Hey, I would also say that I would almost count it as an Easter egg is the first time that Jay Garrick is pulling Barry Allen aside and giving him advice.
By the way, you guys, awesome. He found this on the TV is Dawson's Creek, and Dawson's dad on the show is John Wesley Shipp.
And what's
John Wesley Shipp worked between Flash and this Flash?
Yep.
Good for him.
Yeah,
he was such
a Dawson's Creek.
On that show, he was the most lovable dad too, and I think I inherited those feelings.
He's been a dad since he was 16.
I know,
he's great.
But I'm like, why do I love this dad so much? Because he was such a good dad to Dawson.
That's awesome. Those are good Easter eggs. Hit us with the Arrow ones.
Arrow Easter eggs right off the bat. Ragman. Man, this was you know what you got. It's interesting that you got to I love the fact that these shows are able to pull from such a deep bench. Again, not only Ragman but Wild Dog. I think Wild Dog's maybe appeared in 3 comics.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, he's in the most recent John Ostrander Suicide Squad that they've given him.
Good.
It's so fun because they brought him in, and then immediately there's gunfire coming at all the Suicide Squatters, and Boomerang grabs him, throws them in front of it, and then they get in the car and leave, and Wild Dog's dead immediately.
Boomerang is a bitch.
Yeah, he is.
He's a piece of shit. If you've read John Ostrander's original Suicide Squad,
with the
Boomerang is with the speedster. Boomerang is an asshole.
Wait, in that he throws a speedster off the roof. He's like, I wonder if he'll do the Flash thing where he does the tornadoes, and he doesn't.
He's like, oh well. And also Ameritech is a company from the comics as well. Ameritech,
which is actually tied to Steel. We looked that up.
Interesting.
Right.
So
that's where John Henry
our
works.
What You Missed video.
So it's I love that these shows, and it's also interesting how easily somebody like Ragman has been integrated. Is he a metahuman? Does he use magic? Fuck it, who cares? He's part of the team now.
He's
You know
kind
what I
of
mean?
wearing magic,
Yeah.
right?
You've got
Greg Branscombe, sorry to interrupt, it's just
fine.
before we miss it, it says in the chat that Greg Berlanti was also involved with Dawson's Creek, which could also explain, his collaboration with John
Wesley Shipp because he was a fan of the Flash in the 90s.
That's funny.
So it's you've got Ragman, you've got now they're turning Sharp. What's her first name? Becoming Artemis. Evelyn Sharp is becoming the new Artemis. You know what I mean?
We did this in our video of Easter eggs. In the Young Justice TV show, she starts out as Artemis and then becomes Tigress. Actually, Tigress is one of the Tigress's main name is Artemis Cook. That's why they created Artemis.
I think it's Croc.
Croc. Then Gotham already called dibs on Tigress, so we're not going to get a Tigress in this show.
What the hell?
To be fair, on Gotham's that actress is very attractive.
She is, but it'd be nice to have
I don't know. It's fair. I mean, she is. Yeah.
To be fair, if you have been watching Gotham this season, it's
don't
gotten even more stupid and entertaining.
That's fair.
Just a quick aside.
It's not boring
You know
anymore.
what? If they wanted to use not tell a Batman story, but use all those villains, make it Gotham Central. Anyway, because all the villains
We can
exist.
have this conversation, DJ, and
Anyway.
I love this conversation.
But-
We'll have it off camera.
So,
Last Easter egg.
Amertech, Ragman, Wild Dog, really pulling from the deep bench of DC Universe. The love that these creators have for the greater DCU is really inspiring.
That whole episode was deep cuts.
Yeah.
Think about this though. In the comics, Ray Palmer runs off into the jungle, shrinks down, basically joins the Gulliver's Travels.
I
type
would like
tribe.
to see them adapt
We
that.
got a touch of that
Did we?
with him going to the dinosaurs. Yes, we did. We got a little nod to that. We got nods to the Time Masters and them becoming the new Time Masters. I would like them to go to the Vanishing Point.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest.
Can you paste in the poll real quick?
Oh yeah, go look at the poll.
Wait, no,
Look,
you're
hey,
not
hey,
done.
No, you're not done
paste
with that.
it.
Wait till you.
Paste the address in so that people can.
Oh,
still,
they need a
Oh.
thing. I'll get there in
yeah.
a second. But go ahead and check the top link in the description.
Right.
Easter eggs in this episode.
I think you did that in your story.
Yeah.
That was cool, man. Is that what you
Commander
wanted?
Steel, guys. No, Citizen
Citizen
Steel,
Steel.
Damien Dark, Reverse Flash,
These are,
Nazis,
those
Einstein.
aren't Easter eggs. The
They're
only
just
Easter egg
kidding.
I'll give in there is that it's a real life Easter egg, guys. Let's get somber for a second. Look at the camera. Sometimes women didn't get the right representation they deserved in the past, but with thanks to Legends of Tomorrow, specifically Victor Garber, we've got a good step forward. Go ahead and give me 100 votes for that.
By the way, I will
Won't be
say,
enough.
Legends needs some
Like Einstein, minus the Ein.
They need less white dudes on that cast.
Holy shit, do they need? They just. I'm sorry. So like, you have an issue with Rip Hunter and how he's always fucking like. he's-
Bye, Rip Hunter.
Bye,
I
Rip
guess.
Hunter.
Yeah.
Which like, great idea because he's always like so like.
Really?
He's just such a buzzkill.
What's the actor's name? Rory.
I like
No,
that.
that's his
Buzzkill.
character.
Oh, that's
Arthur
right.
Darvill.
Arthur Darvill. Love you, Arthur Darvill.
Yeah, I
love
You're-
Arthur
you're a
Darvill.
He's a great
actor.
actor, but Buzzkill,
Yeah.
being like this Oliver Queen guy over here, being a Buzzkill all
Listen,
the time.
But you
Stephen
replace
Amell's
him with
acting has
another
been on
white guy.
point this season.
By the way,
It
why
has
would
been
Oliver
done.
Queen
It's been-
agree to go buy a sub to go down in the New York? No, whatever.
Also, why did Citizen Steel was like, hey, listen, I saw these things. Why does he remember the times changed, for one? Also, with that knowledge, why was he like, you know who I think I'll know something about this? I'll buy that he figured out Oliver
Which
Queen and
is
Green Arrow.
less
I'll buy
believable.
that.
Which is less
I'll bet you
believable.
Green Arrow knows.
Which is less believable, parachute arrow or time travel Garbly?
You know, weirdly, the parachute arrow is more believable.
Yeah, they could do that.
No, it's not.
Real quick, we need a reaction from you. When Wild Dog was hanging upside down an arrow, did you go like, "Hey, that looks exactly like me"?
What?
No,
No.
you didn't see that? It looked-
I
you
wish
got-
I was that handsome. That's
No,
a handsome
dude,
lad.
yeah.
This is like the third DC person that
I
you
know.
told
Listen,
you
DC,
you are.
they want you to cast me in a bit part, all right? Do it. I'll be rated by Batman. Literally like seconds. I'll be there for
boy.
seconds.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
tall.
All
I
right.
could be muscle. I'm really tall.
Update to the score.
Yes.
Supergirl, Flash,
Oh.
Arrow,
What?
Legends of
What happened to Arrow?
Oh, damn.
What happened to Arrow?
What happened to Legends of Tomorrow? We were second for a minute.
Was
Wait.
that
No, wait,
Easter
no,
egg
wait.
around
Flash
this
and
in it?
Supergirl are tied.
Oh shit! No, switch. Flash is above.
Oh my
Supergirl.
God!
Oh,
It's
man.
a Cinderella story.
Supergirl had Superman in it. That's why I assumed it was leading this
Well,
whole
let's go
time.
ahead and go into our final
All
round.
right. Okay.
Oh my God! You gotta be kidding.
Final argument. Get ready for this. All right. These are epic moments. This category means which show had the biggest climax. Which show?
Which
show?
No.
I would say Sarah Lance did
Yeah.
Several times.
several times.
Which show?
And those
We called it the
Salem
most epic
ladies
moment.
are into it.
Which show had the moment where your jaws dropped? Go with
Yeah.
Supergirl. Go ahead.
So the most epic moment, you're gonna hear a lot of things from my friends here.
Yes.
They're gonna sound exciting, they're gonna sound epic, if you will, and I applaud them for their efforts. But I want to point out something real simple that was the jaw-dropping moment.
20 seconds.
And it was just when, it's okay, when Superman stood next to Supergirl very early in the episode, and they had a little bit of fun banter, and that family was watching on, and the family was just acting like us. We're like, it's Superman and Supergirl. Now, sure, there was a space shuttle saving, there was a building saving, she melted steel beams and saved...
There's Metallo.
Yeah, Metallo, there's all these things. But Superman on this show is not only the most epic moment of this episode, epic moment of this show, it's one of the most epic things to ever happen on the CW. Imagine Superman on Legends. Imagine Superman on Arrow.
Smallville epic. Let us know.
Yeah. No, but imagine Superman appearing on any of the shows. Imagine Darkseid coming into any of these shows. All of that can happen because of this week's most epic moment. Superman showed up on Supergirl.
On Small.
Okay,
Yeah, Flash, epic moment.
All right.
Quick, go.
Okay, Vibe and Flash versus the rival. Look, the fact is, while Superman appearing on Supergirl was a great decision by producers, this is the culmination of years of progress, building the relationship between Cisco and Barry to the point that they are now near equals in the field and are able to take down metahumans together. This is not only a great action moment, it's a great moment for our characters, and it's a great moment for us because it says that going forward, Flash is going to be a team affair. Like, they were trying to figure out, they were running out of different ways to have Flash take down villains by himself, but now that it's a team affair out in the field, we're gonna get some really insane, kinetic, propulsive, metahuman action on screen every single week. It's epic for so many reasons. Plus, dude, I know not everyone's crazy about relationships, but you know what? We're taking our first step. We've got the kiss, and we're not retconning it this time.
I'm liking
I will
Iris
say,
this season.
Iris
I'm
is
liking
really
Iris is
good.
great
And
this
by,
season.
By the way, Easter egg from the comics, New 52 Vibe can take down basically everybody. Everyone. If he were to focus strong enough, he could take down Flash, Superman, everybody. Anyways, Arrow, epic moment.
Most epic moment.
Most epic moment. I will say again. Green Arrow training Mr. Terrific, Wild Dog, and Artemis to fight Ragman. For me, the most epic moment was the reveal of Ragman. Again, just that deep cut, like that we're going. That I love Superman. I love Superman. I'm so
He's wearing a
excited.
Superman
I'm
shirt.
so excited.
I thought you got choked up.
I'm so excited. The Plain Save, the Perry White conversation, I started tearing up a little bit. I missed it.
music,
I missed it, man.
I love you.
But Ragman shocked me. The fact that a show like this would do Ragman, the fact that we're seeing Ragman on TV, and it's not necessarily specifically Ragman. I know people are like, why do you care about Ragman? It's the idea that it feels like more than any other show, these shows, and specifically Arrow, can surprise. You never know what they're gonna do. Like, Marvel would have to have like 15 meetings between bigwigs before a character like Ragman could even be mentioned by somebody on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Arrow's just able to throw them out, and it just surprised me.
All right.
Now.
That's pretty good. All right. Epic moment.
I know what I would go with.
It's the finale. It's the final moment of this episode. We have two of the biggest villains. One of the most complex from Flash. You had Flash. One of the most complex and compelling villains we've had across all of these shows. That's a great Eobard is amazing.
It's easy to forget because it's a different actor.
It's a different actor.
Best villain out of any of them.
With the premiere of The Flash, we were able to see just how well Matt Lasher can play this role. Sure, we missed Tom Cavanaugh a little bit, but Matt Lasher is going to knock it out of the park. And also, Damien Dark, not only is he the most fun villain that we've had, because he's giggling as he's just sucking the souls out of people, but also he's intimidating. He's an actual threat. And now we're having them team up, and we're going to bring in Malcolm Merlyn, who is pretty good as well, and Captain Cold. Probably Black Siren, we're going to forget about that. But right now, we had the most epic moment of two of the biggest and best villains DC TV's been able to make together, working together.
Hold on. You're going to go with that instead of Justice Society?
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest, I was real bummed when they came on the screen.
All right.
It was like they were outside of a storage unit just hanging out. Like, what are they doing? So yeah, I would go with the villains.
All right,
She
there you go.
didn't do anything. Next episode...
T-Rex, maybe?
No,
Okay,
next episode, I'm going with my thing. I'm going with my thing.
You mean you're gonna do
I'm
Flash?
going with the thing. I got the thing. All right. Legends of Tomorrow seems like it's winning right now. Let's go ahead and check the polls one more time.
What are you guys doing?
We're live streaming.
We're
What are you
live
doing?
streaming, Mom! Get out of here!
You wanted to go shopping with me.
We're doing a live stream.
Come say hi.
It's a Whitney.
It's a Whitney. What was your most epic moment of the CW shows this week?
I just
Probably
watched
Supergirl.
the new Netflix show Haters Back Off, and she's
Cool.
my favorite
Yeah.
superhero.
Look,
Great.
she's wearing the Supergirl logo around her neck.
Yay.
No, she's outside of the
It's a slice of pizza.
Hey.
No,
Easter eggs.
Easter egg.
Easter eggs.
I thought
Easter
you
egg.
guys wanted to go shopping.
We will.
You
We got the
still want
stream.
to?
Yeah.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye, Whitney.
Bye. All right.
Okay, real
All right.
quick, I'm gonna point out she unzipped her jacket and you pointed and you said Easter eggs. All right,
Easter
let's keep
egg.
going.
All right. Current poll. This is not the final. Not the final.
Not the final.
Not the final.
Not
Not the final.
Yep.
I'm gonna refresh it one more time. Okay.
All right.
First, Supergirl.
Supergirl in first.
And then Flash is right behind it.
Oh my
with
God, they're
Arrow
so
and
close.
Nick.
Guys, what happened with her? Did you not hear me when I said Ragman?
I think the problem is they did.
All right.
No, wait. Think about this. Justice League Dark or the Shadow Pact. I prefer the
That'd
Shadow
be
Pact
amazing.
name. We could have Constantine. We could have Ragman.
Constantine?
We can have Constantine and Ragman, and there's other magic. Vixen.
Vixen. All right. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna flip this table.
You guys, in the comments, I just posted the link again to go vote. It's in the top of the description. Go vote while we really quick talk about some news that we can all agree on. That's really cool. Yeah. Speaking of DC stuff, when it comes to the TV world, we'll go ahead and hit it with this first. We know that James Olsen right now, if he doesn't have a love life, his story is a little over. Wait, no, it's not. Because he's gonna become Guardian.
This is really cool. I like this because it seems when you say like, oh, Jimmy Olsen's becoming Guardian, you're like, what? Think about Makad Brooks as Jimmy Olsen. That guy could be a superhero.
Yeah, sure.
There's nothing keeping that Jimmy Olsen from being a superhero. And also,
they could only do this because they're gonna give him a good storyline instead of this kind of weak, forced relationship.
yeah, and also it does make me a little bit bummed because I've often thought you could have made Makad Brooks John Henry Irons and made made Win Jimmy Olsen, and so it feels like they're kind of like, oh, now he is a superhero. But still, Guardian's cool. Jimmy Olsen has a strong connection to Guardian in the comics. He's never been Guardian in the comics, but he's been Turtle Boy and shit. So this is great.
Oh, wait, so this is Turtle Boy.
This is Turtle Boy.
So
Look at that shield. It's a turtle. Look at the shield.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Look at the shield.
It's very
turtle-like.
turtle-like.
The turtle.
It's very turtle-ish.
It's so turtle-like.
What is it? A sword shield? What is it?
Yeah, no, a lot of the shields for Guardian have a point at the bottom so you can kind of use it to jab.
One of the things I like about Supergirl is the inclusion of the DEO, so you can have practical action sequences with the big epic superhero stuff. Flash doesn't. It's more
That
just
actually
stuff.
really worked
and
this
so
week, too.
It did, and so having Guardian be a man on the street one, I think will really help their action sequences.
I'm excited because Guardian, who is Jim Harper, who showed up in the first season,
Real asshole. What
he
a
was,
dick.
but also that kind of made it fun. I was like, wow, I want to see him as a superhero. I love that guy. But also he has a really strong tie to Cadmus. Guardian usually does, specifically Jim Harper, because he's a clone, and there could be maybe some fun cloning stories you can go with James Olsen.
Yeah.
Maybe James.
Oh shit!
It could be Lance
Olsen. If he's a fucking clone, if that's Jimmy Olsen's clone, I'm way into that. Like, I know it's probably simpler and maybe even better if it's just Jimmy just becomes a superhero.
No.
But like, imagine Supergirl, she just basically dumped the shit out of Jimmy and was like, sorry dude, I'm not feeling it anymore. Then a few episodes from now, he dies. He gets killed.
Oh, no.
You think it's over. And then all of a sudden, Jimmy clone, superhero,
I don't know
now
if
she's
I'm
got to
feeling that.
reconsider
I don't know if I'm
what's
feeling
going
that.
on.
I see what you're saying, but I don't know if I'm feeling it.
I only heard part of it because someone brought something in for me. But so you're saying that Supergirl gets to make out with two Jimmy Olsens?
No,
Is that what you said?
one Jimmy Olsen gets killed.
Oh, and we'll never know which one
the
it
other one
is.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Clone Saga. Right?
Yeah.
Just a reminder, Supergirl changed everything this week on the entire CW.
No, Legends
universe.
of Tomorrow did
You're
with
right.
it.
She decided to be a reporter.
changed
Hey, I had a
And Cat
time
Grant's
wave
gonna-
and a nuke and Nazis and dinosaurs in my episode. How many dinosaurs do you have? How many dinosaurs you have? Oh, no dinosaurs on
How many
yours.
Ragmen did you have?
You had a dude wearing toilet paper running around, all right?
Leather toilet paper.
Speaking of toilet
It
paper,
really made me happy.
speaking of Ragman, we got this picture. Who's that?
That is
Mira.
Amber Heard as Mira
Ooh.
in Justice League.
I'm gonna go ahead and bump
My goodness.
Yeah. There you go.
Goodness gracious.
Now, if you guys watched the Zack Snyder put out footage of some behind the scenes stuff of just the cast like goofing around and having fun, and there's a shot where two women, this large, what's going to be something crazy in the movie, but it's just a large green bag, and the thing lands in these two stunt women.
It looks like Wonder
jacked as shit stunt woman.
Yeah,
Those
Gal
women could
Gadot.
beat the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
Catch it, and one of them's dark-haired and one of them's light-haired. So I'm assuming Wonder Woman and Mira are going to be doing some heavy lifting.
That'd be
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm excited to see her relationship with Arthur.
Yes.
Curry,
Yeah.
because I want to see that side of him because right now he just looks mean.
Yeah, it'll be
wanna
interesting
see
to have
him
somebody
be
in his
nice.
I
life
want
that
her
actually
to be
likes him.
tougher than him in a way, because he
Oh,
looks
yeah.
so outwardly tough. I want her to be able to put him in his place.
Oh, and then her going up against Wonder Woman, like
Yeah,
just like
dude.
that gaze. Because
It's also-
Wonder Woman's Gal Gadot's real tall. And
Oh,
real
yeah.
strong.
It's also a good way to integrate more female characters into this version of the Justice League organically, since that Mira's going to have to be a part of Aquaman's movie anyway.
Sure.
And I'm assuming because of the Tesseracts, mother boxes, that one of them's in was given to the Atlanteans, so we're probably going to go down to Atlantis at some point.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, you're right. Go vote for Legends of Tomorrow. That was a fun point you brought up. Guys, thank you for all agreeing.
Oh, hey, what? Can you click on that mirror thing again?
Oh, you want to
real
look at
quick?
the
Yeah, mirror thing. What colors are outfit? Green Arrow.
Nope, that's not a color.
Yes.
Wow, that's not a color.
I totally thought you were going to say, what color is that Ragman?
She got the
Jill
red
Stein.
hair.
Yeah.
Ragman's rags, some of them are red, the color of the flag.
Ooh, let's look at those rags again.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to stick his tongue out
Yeah.
right there. Like a little creep. All right, we've been stalling. Mira looks awesome. Can't wait for Justice League. They look like they're having a lot of fun, and they're making it very clear to everyone watching that, yes, this movie will be at least a little bit
Bit fun behind the scenes.
Behind the
They
scenes.
had
I
fun
love that
making
behind
it.
the scenes footage.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, the
great.
behind the scenes footage was really cool.
That guy
Oh, by the
making
way,
behind
I've
the
been
scenes
asking
stuff is making a
somebody.
lot of money.
I was seeing some stuff posted that Superman's definitely in it. He's definitely not. Superman's definitely not
What do you
in
mean?
it.
He's on the set.
in the Superman costume.
Where?
In the
behind the
trailer.
scenes footage.
Where?
Oh, you gotta
watch
pause.
the-
Okay,
yeah,
show me after.
Yeah, because
I watched it like 3 times.
He's in his costume, smiling, talking to Zack Snyder behind a camera. Like
Right.
they,
Yeah.
So you could be co-directing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Superman could be
I don't
co-directing
think that's
Justice
gonna
League.
make-
That's
I
how
don't
powerful
confirm.
he is.
I don't think that'll
Confirmed.
make it a little bit. I don't think it'll make it better. But guys, we're near the finale of this episode. Quick little plugs to everyone's Twitters. I got really excited about this because I figured out how to do it before we started.
Oh, yeah, do
Go
it.
ahead and follow
Boom.
Phil and Melina at
At
Fimo.
Fimo.
Yes.
You can go ahead and follow Matthew Lieberman,
This
Matt
guy.
Lieberman
Yes.
on Twitter. Oh, you got DJ Talks Trash
Hey!
on Twitter, and you got
Can I do another
Sam.
little? Is this the time for another little plug, real quick?
Only Stupid Answers on
Yes.
iTunes.
Because of the format of this thing, there's so much more I want to say about Legends and Supergirl that we did not get to talk about here.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about it this week. We have a special guest.
I'm gonna be there.
Hey, and we'll someday. I feel bad. I feel bad
I'm
excluding
sorry.
you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's okay, I can leave right now.
Yeah,
Little plug, you should
so-
check out our podcast. It's on all of our social medias. Also, you can follow it on Twitter, so you can find
Only
out where all
Stupid
of
Answers.
those.
Take out the vowels on stupid. It's on iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and every place you want to be.
And make sure you guys comment this video, share it, subscribe, do all the fun things. And now we're at our finale. Guys, you all fought valiantly. I thought I kind of nailed it. I'm going to be completely honest.
Oh,
Yes.
sure.
Apologizing the whole
It
time. Here,
comes
show.
down, it comes down to the votes, and I don't want you to
Oh,
see.
God. Oh,
He
God.
doesn't want them to. Oh, can they see?
They can't see. I don't want you to
Let's
see.
see. Okay.
All right, guys, we pulled ahead.
Guys.
Shh. Thanks, everybody.
Shush.
Legends
Shush.
Tomorrow pulled ahead with 1,000
Nope.
votes. No, it didn't. We have Flash as the winner. Go ahead and move
Whoa.
it. Flash and as the winner.
Man, I'm just barely ahead of you. Arrow really fell down in the vote. You
did.
guys failed me.
There's a lot of
You guys
Arrow hate.
failed me.
Thank you
all
to
right?
Legends for pulling ahead a little bit. But no,
Yeah.
we go Flash, Supergirl, Arrow, and then Legends. I feel like Legends is going to pull ahead. Maybe a rough start. Flash had a rough start, but they got better in their second episode.
Yes.
And,
And
as-
Supergirl had the best episode it's ever had.
Oh, I'm super jealous.
All
of
right,
that right
all
now.
right.
Supergirl
Close
was
your
great
eyes,
this
kids.
week. Okay.
I asked,
All of us?
Yes, everybody, close your eyes. I asked Aaron, who also made our fun little graphic. Close your eyes.
Thank you, Aaron, by the
Thank
way.
you,
Aaron
everybody.
was great.
Thank you, Aaron. But as the winner, go ahead, open your eyes.
I got ice cream.
Slow turn.
Let us know in the comments down below what kind of awards we should give out. Also, names. We would like to come up with a fun, original name for this. We could call it Superhero Roundup, but we'd also like to call it other things. I'm really keen on the Caped Debaters, because there's also
debate?
masturbation
Not caped.
jokes you can put in there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm already ahead of
I
you.
thought about master debaters.
That was another one. But guys, let us know some ideas for titles
Also,
for
what
the
was
show.
it? Super Power Rankings
Super
Weekly
Power
Live.
Yeah, that roll off the tongue.
I like Superhero Roundup 2, The Quest for Peace.
Best for fees, or it could be Super Round 2.
We are also considering maybe doing something
Two
where
Super 2 Roundup?
Oh,
winner gets to get something, losers have to do something too.
Ooh.
Let us know if you want
Superhero
that.
Rebirth?
Ooh. We got a lot of options. Let us know what yours are on Twitter at SourceFedNERD, but also tweet at us. You guys know all of it. Fimo, Matt Lieberman, DJ Talks Trash, Sam Basher.
Also, sorry, I just put a video up on my channel talking about what characters I'd like to see on Supergirl.
Very
DJ Talks
cool.
Trash, check it out.
But also, we'll be back next week with this episode, this show. And there's also the What You Missed episodes we do. We're
Go
gonna
watch
be-
the ones we already did. We covered so many Easter eggs and missable moments. In
We did Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow. We might be scaling those back a little bit, so let us know which ones you like the most.
That's on
because
this
they're a lot
channel
of fun.
that you're on right now. Easy
but-
to find.
we're coming to an end, guys.
Do a quick little last refresh, just to mention.
Oh, you want to just see
out
if
of
it changed?
curiosity.
If you want to share
I'm
the
already
ice
eating
cream?
this ice cream. I don't care.
No.
It got worse. You got to eat more of the ice cream.
Flash pulled ahead.
Man,
But
I'm
guys,
only 1 percentage point above Legend Tomorrow. Arrow is really good this week, guys. Come on.
It's a good show this season,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for all of these.
Yes.
Let us know what other ones we should cover. Sam Basher, DJ, Matt, Philip. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little fade out. Get ready for this. Start doing the theme song again. Bye, guys.
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Nailing it.